Afternoon, men.
You alright?
Yep.
I think it's time to talk about some bold predictions. Knock on wood if you're with me. Yeah, let's go! Woo! Nice wee Hard Knocks reference at the start there. Let's go.
Yes, looking forward to. Is it tomorrow night we get the last one?
Yes, it is tomorrow night as we record.
I'll be the States.
What else happens tomorrow night?
First game!
Oh yeah! Important stuff.
Football's back.
Well,
Yeah.
Chicago.
in my head that's Friday because, I'm not being stupid and staying up to watch it.
Yeah, it will be
Like,
Friday. I thought.
But yes.
I've said I'm not going to, but there's a good chance I will.
You are. Didn't you watch about half of the
Yeah, I
Monday,
don't know what.
between the Sunday, Monday and Thursday
I
late
did
night
pretty good
games?
last year.
Yeah, you were.
It depends if my Airbnb in Manchester has got Sky Sports or not. If it does, then I might get on in the middle of the night and watch it.
Just go home from the cricket and say, right, I need to go to bed for 4 hours, see you later, wake up, watch the game, crawl back into bed for another 3 or 4 hours and then go back to the cricket.
Well, that's it. Cricket doesn't start till 11. I don't have to get up till 10.
Oh, happy days.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's fine. Yeah, cool. So, a lot of news over the last couple of weeks.
Oh, it's all kicking off again, isn't it?
It
It's
has.
brilliant. This is like what it was in March, and then all of a sudden, like, we had the longest off season in the world, and then now it just seems to have blown up again.
Yeah, so Saturday was roster sort of deadline day, got to make their final cuts to get down to the 53. Lots of stuff happened. Let's start with the Brits and discuss the four Brits really that we wanted to talk about. So two that didn't make the rosters were Alex Gray at the Falcons and Christian Wade at the Bills. Didn't make the final 53.
I think the Wade one was kind of expected.
Yeah, he
but
had those two.
I think, he did enough in pre-season to put an element of doubt in there. I think a lot of people have thought, and even him himself, because he'd only gone out in April.
I think so.
It was the first time he'd done it, even though he gave it rugby last October.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a lot of time to bed it in. And I think he knew himself, plus the fact that the Bills know they can carry him on the practice squad for it's like a free
There's no
roster
cap
space.
hit or anything.
Yeah, it's a free roster space effectively for the whole year. So I think it was always destined he was gonna. Then when the news that Shady got cut came out, I was like, oh, has he made it? Has he just squeaked in as the 53rd man? And then
I think that's because they've been overly impressed with the rookie Singletary.
Yeah.
I think they're saying that he's.
Oh, Devin Singletary.
Yeah. So
it makes a lot of sense then.
I think that was the logic behind.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got Frank Gore as well, don't they?
Who never ages.
Yeah.
36
Inconvenient
going
truth.
on 21.
What you say? Running backs can't last. Present you Frank Gore.
And then two that did make it. So Effie Abada made it onto the Panthers roster again after a bit of a breakout last year in that one monster game, which
fumble, sack, and interception or something. Which is
it was a fumble recovery return for a touchdown, was it not?
Exactly. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, just lunacy. I mean, the stuff that only happens 3 times in a career.
And
it's no impossible.
Our guy Jamie Gillan
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
beat out
Well excited with that.
Pro Bowl punter Britton Colquitt for the punting job in Cleveland.
It was amazing. Did
Yeah.
you see him clean out the Lions returner?
Oh, amazing.
He's just because he comes from a rugby background and he's not your prototypical American.
Yeah, he'll know how
punter.
to tackle.
Yeah, he'll target the returner and go, I'm going to clean you out. I don't give two hoots.
Well, and a lot of the commentary from the NFL analysts over there is this is a punter with better tackling form than most defensive backs. He knows how to tackle.
Yeah. So he'll probably also take kickoffs. So rather than their dedicated kicker, it looks like Gillen's going to be doing the kickoffs and the punts. Yep. So
absolutely delighted for him to make that roster. And
we spoke to him back in episode 37. If you want to hear, it was a quick 25 minutes, I think.
Something like that.
Spoke to him just after his, because punters have a separate
special teams combine.
Yeah, special teams. So it was after that. But before sort of the draft season. So roll back to that episode if you want to hear what we chatted about him.
So other exciting things. Right, the Texans. It all starts and ends.
Oh God, yeah.
with the Texans. So, first of all, they traded away Jadeveon Clowney for not very much.
Pennies on the dollar, or cents on the dollar is what they're all saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seemed a very
It's the AB
one-sided
thing, right?
trade.
It's much the same as that.
Yeah.
They
it's
just knew
like,
that they didn't
cut
have much
your
leverage.
Can't get them.
Yeah.
Unless they were going to re-up them for 24 million a season or something. Lunacy for, resetting the market and buy a good chunk.
When you've still got a whole bunch of other people to play,
You're going
to pay.
Thinking further down the line, they probably couldn't carry
All of them.
Yeah.
So he was.
So they got what, a third rounder and a couple of players who I'm not sure I'd heard of.
No.
Accurate.
Yeah. By all accounts, though, the linebacker they got, which I forget the chap's name, but he did okay at the tail end of last season, and actually I think he possibly does help the Texans linebacker core anyway. So that's maybe not the worst thing, but it's definitely a massive drop off. And then I love the fact that the third rounder that Seattle gave up, if Clowney ends up moving in free agency, they're going to get it back anyway.
Yeah, so a conditional third round pick is what they'll get when he disappears in free agency next year, which there's a reasonable chance he might do.
Yeah.
He might, yeah.
But
I mean,
it's a
the
no-brainer.
salary cap will re-up, so it could be another 10 million. So they've got wiggle room to then afford to pay Russell Wilson and
Wilson was in the deal last year, was it not?
Wilson's only just signed his deal this
Yeah,
offseason.
So but they've already got that in the cap.
Yeah.
So if they've got another 10 million to go next year, that 10 million can just basically give to him.
Yep.
To Clowney, anyway, squeeze it all in there. But
So interesting there.
Options.
And then the Texans
Then Bill O'Brien just went mental.
So I think what happened was Bill O'Brien managed to lock himself into a cupboard. The Texans front office are all banging on the door saying, "What are you doing?"
He's like,
as he gave away
secret deals, I'm not telling you, secret deals, man.
all their draft capital for the next 2 years.
2020 first rounder, 2021 first and second rounder.
Yep.
For Laramie Tunsil.
And Kenny Stills and some other players just going.
No, they got Kenny Stills.
They got Kenny Stills as well, but it was all about Laramie Tunsil. Kenny Stills was just like a wee added extra. It was just chucked into the pile because Miami are tanking.
And there was some other players went the other way as well, wasn't there?
Some random players from the Texans.
Yeah.
I'm going to say but I can't really remember.
We talked about how the Texans didn't have any leverage with Jadeveon Clowney. Laramie Tunsil has so much leverage.
It's even worse. He will easily reset the tackle market because you wouldn't give up 2 first rounders now when he's only got 2 years left in his deal.
Yep.
And now not have to pay him 20 million a season for a tackle.
But they haven't done that deal as part of the trade, which is quite something.
They can do it next year.
So my thinking around here, yes, it's a ludicrous deal, but I think the Texans have gone, we're in win now mode majorly. We are going absolutely all in, and JJ Watt's coming to the end of his career.
Yep,
he's the only one that is. So a lot of the big pieces they've got are young guys.
And the other thing that comes with that is they probably know they can't pay them all when it comes round about.
Yeah.
So they've gone, okay, let's do this whilst Watson's on his
rookie deal. So it's basically, I think they've given themselves two
seasons,
2 years anyway. It's either this year or next year.
And
they're going all in and try and win it all.
Yeah. So I'm not against it. I'm not against
ballsy move. I like it. I mean, it's ludicrous, but it's ballsy.
If you look at the success of some of the teams recently, so the Patriots are always going to have their success, right? But the Rams just went really aggressive. The Eagles went really aggressive. Seems to be working for teams to change that rather than build through the draft. It's more, let's just go big or go home.
Go through the build through the draft model, and Green Bay is all up until last season when Ted Thompson got moved sideways. They'd always been the prototypical build and draft and develop and don't attack free agency, and look how they've just tailed off
I think there has to be a balance in there of both. You've got to attack your free agency and draft and develop, but know that when the right time to actually attack free agency is once you've got that solid base of rookies that the Texans do have at the moment. They've got a solid base of young players, which puts them in a position to be able to say, right, let's go big and get a few names in and let's go.
I'm not against it from the Texans' point of view. I think that you do it. Bill O'Brien is saying this is my chance to win it now. If he does it, then obviously great. If not, he probably walks away.
walks away or
that's
is...
the question.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Has he, by making these two moves, because he's effectively the GM in the minute, effectively, has he put himself right on the hot line? Like,
definitely.
He's always been...
He is an all or nothing there.
Do you think he'd have been doing it?
No, maybe not this season.
Division three out of the last 6 years.
But they've not really progressed, though, have they?
I know what you mean. They're one and done in the playoffs when they get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, or somewhere.
So
that's probably not
so
true.
actually,
It's not bad as Cincinnati.
But yeah, he's not.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They've not been fighting in the AFC Championship game at any point.
Yeah, so that maybe from a Texans point of view, you think, okay, is he taking this as far as he possibly can?
And if you talk about tenure of coaches, he's probably getting well into the top 25% already if he's in year 6. There can't be many more that are longer than him.
No,
do you know what I mean?
The shelf life of coaches in the NFL over the last few years is...
We're talking 3 to 4 seasons tops. If you outlast that,
it's replicating what you're seeing in European sport, I think, now.
Yeah.
More and more, where they just don't have the same longevity.
And just finally on Kenny Stills, I think it's a really good move because you can move Hopkins into the slot. You can let Kenny Stills speed, because he's one of the fastest in the entire league. You can put him on the outside. You can put Will Fuller on the outside. You physically can't keep up with all of them, and it creates more spaces for Hopkins in the middle.
I'd go even more ridiculous. I'd put Hopkins and one of those two on one side, load one side of the field. You know, a 3 wide receiver set all the time, plus some kind of.
I think they will be
tight end or slot through the middle and go.
Because
just go mental. Because you can't cover it.
Yeah,
it's going to be nuts. Yeah.
So it's a scary receiver set there. Yeah.
Could be.
Other contract
news.
news.
The Dolphins? No.
Well, I suppose the Dolphins are in tank mode, and they are.
What's the tagline?
Tank for Tua.
Tank for Tua.
Yeah.
Suck for luck from back in 2012. We've now got the new one.
Tank for Tua, and they've moved on from Josh Rosen before he's even taken a snap in a regular season.
Feel sorry for
that's a harsh one. He seems to have been really hard done by. If that's how they're going to go, I mean,
it clearly is.
It looks like. I think you're. Flores, which means you now know Flores is absolutely fine. His seat is. It doesn't matter what he does this season.
Yeah.
If they go 1-15, he's going to be back next year.
And he will. He's obviously comes out with the rhetoric of, "I am not here to tank. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it."
I respect.
Take all my good players.
Yeah.
But 8 of my 12 people that are on the official Miami Dolphins calendar this year, I've got rid of already.
It's totally crazy.
I'm not even sure if he is completely free though.
I'm with you on that. Actually, I think there's a point where ownership would be that disgusted with a performance on the field that it would actually override a bigger plan.
Didn't it happen with
Wilkes?
Yes. So it was.
But they weren't in tank mode. They were.
No, they were just performing poorly.
They were just horrendous.
And I think the fans
Cardinals last year came into the season with expectations of mediocrity, not. This is going to be an awful season.
I guess my point was more around about you drafted a rookie quarterback. You were still clear the team was not going to be challenging too much. I know Dolphins is different, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's not there next season.
I don't know. I think it would be incredibly harsh for him to be a one and done guy after this off-season.
Defensive coordinator gets a new rookie quarterback. I can see it. Yeah. Anyway.
Other couple of big pieces of news over the last 24 hours, a couple of big contract extensions agreed. So let's start with Jared Goff. $110 million of guaranteed money on his 4-year deal. $32 million average.
Yeah.
So not bad for a mediocre quarterback.
Right, okay. Harsh. But I think I know what you mean in it. So it's not, he's not reset the market.
He can't think for himself, so.
Yeah. Was
good when you don't have to though.
Was it worth an extension? Absolutely.
Yes.
Do I think the Rams have actually done quite a crafty deal to get him at this price now? Because then 2 years from now, when really they should up on maybe another year from now, and the market's going to get even more further away. 3 years from now on this deal, he's going to look like he's paying.
Being rational, I don't hate this deal at all, but it's the Rams, so I do.
So you hate it. Keeps him locked in the division for another 4 years.
Yeah.
It's pretty big money, isn't it? 110. But did Ryan get 120 in guarantees?
No, I'm sure it's the biggest guaranteed contract. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that was a bit I wasn't sure about. I hadn't had time to read it.
Yeah. And in the last hour or so, it seems to have been confirmed that the Zeke saga is over. and he's agreed to a $6 million, 90 mil, a six year,
It's only worth $6 million, but
a
that's a story for another
6 year, $90 million extension, which means that he
$103 million.
So overall, he's on a $103 million 8-year deal
for a running back.
Yeah, he'll be retired in 4.
Wow. Only 50 of it's guaranteed, but I say only. But what did Gurley get? 40, about 45,
something like that. Yeah. Presumably the guarantees in this contract are all front loaded as well.
It'll be cleverly weighted so that year 5 onwards, it doesn't really matter.
So he's an 8-year deal, and it's Zeke, and he's already held out a year early on his rookie deal. So he's going to be holding out after about 2.5 seasons.
3 years from now, so beginning of 2020.
I guess it depends on what happens with the market, if other people follow suit.
Yeah.
He's not going to hold out if he's the highest paid player.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's only,
because that was his thing, was that he felt that he should be the highest paid player.
Yeah. So there's only, just spitballing here for 2 seconds, there's only 2 people at the minute that are going to instantly reset ahead of him, easy peasy, and that is Christian McCaffrey when his one comes round, and Saquon.
Yeah.
I think that's the only 2 that have a shout of beating out this deal. Right? Because obviously it's a year from now, and Saquon's is 2, at least 2, possibly even 3 years from now.
They're 2 and 3 years away, those 2, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a while away, so
Yeah.
and
your guys that are on the big money at the moment, like Todd Gurley's not going to get another big contract with his knee.
Neither's Lev Bell.
Neither's Lev Bell.
Probably not. Yeah, I think
David Johnson might get one depending on how he goes the next couple of years, but if you look back at the last couple of years, not on his production.
Yeah, that's it.
He got a bad injury as well.
It was a broken wrist.
He's unlucky, but I know what you mean. Yeah, but he's not doing the same stuff that Zeke and Saquon and Kamara.
Yeah.
Oh, Kamara's Chuck Kamara.
I mean, I expect Johnson to have a big year this year.
Yeah.
But
he has to have a good. He needs good year or 2 really good years before he can then say, "No, I want that." 15 million.
I
average,
think
whatever.
this is another team that is saying we are going to be competitive at a high level in the next 2 seasons.
Well, they still need to re-up Dak. They still need to re-up Amari Cooper. They have re-upped Lyle Collins though,
and their O-line are all under contract for until 2023. One's up under contract until 2023, and the other 4 starters are until 2024. I'm sure.
Okay, I'm sure Tyron Smith will be the first one to come up because he's the oldest of the lot. Yeah.
So I think they're saying that we need to win shortly. And Jerry Jones, I'm surprised he's been as patient as he has been with Jason Garrett, to be fair. But
Garrett's just sitting in the corner clapping. He's got no idea what's going on. It's all
good. Facing the other way from the field.
Oh, you just saying a guy. Clap, clap. Who is it? Zeke. Don't know who he is.
Who's that guy?
What can I use him for?
Right. So, moving on from the stuff that's actually happened, let's talk about what's going to happen.
Ooh.
And let's do our bold predictions, which we did way too early last year. We're doing them on the eve of the season this year. So we're going to go through a few things. Whether we start with the good or the bad?
You choose.
Let's start with the good, and let's go with MVP first off. Who is your NFL MVP for 2019?
I've only got one name. You want?
We go bold.
Well, you go. Yeah, right. You go bold. I'll just chuck the really boring one out.
Okay, you go bold.
Mahomes is going to re-up in year 2. He's second year in the Andy Reid system. He's going to throw for another 50 odd touchdowns. He's got that. It's always a quarterback that gets it anyway because the league's really boring. No one else deserves it. It's a lot of bullshit. But he's going to end up doing even better than he did last year, and he's going to be like Peyton Manning got 4 in his career. Mahomes is going to outstrip that during his career.
Okay, so you've got Mahomes
for MVP.
Yeah.
I know it's boring, but I just think that's what's going to happen. I'm
going to go bold and say Alvin Kamara.
That is bold.
Okay,
like
on
it.
you go. But
you could go even bolder. I mean, you could pick some like cornerback from Denver Broncos. But
anyone in the Dolphins.
Pat Peterson MVP after the 6-game suspension.
So let me tell you why I think Kamara, and it's bold. There's no arguing about it. Daft, some might say, because it's always quarterbacks, right? But I'm going to say that Alvin Kamara, the Saints should have been in the Super Bowl last year. The Saints against the Patriots, I actually would have fancied the Saints to beat the Patriots. I think Alvin Kamara could tear up a Super Bowl game, and I think that would be enough to get him there. Nobody's really speaking about the Saints. They're just going about their business really quietly. They've not had a dramatic off-season, not lost anyone huge. They're not having to pay huge money to anyone.
Yeah.
Their team is in such a fluid state. They've got an amazing head coach, and that's why I think that Kamara is going to absolutely boss this season, have the most scrimmage yards any running back, and the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Boom.
There you go.
What about yourself?
Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, okay. By any chance, for similar reasons as to what
yes, actually, similar reasons. I think he's going to have an absolutely massive year, and I think that Cam seems to be okay, and he's brilliant when he's on form. I think they'll have a massive year. I think they will challenge the Saints for that division this year, actually, now that I think Cam's going to be alright. But they're going to be led by McCaffrey going nuts and league MVP.
Because they feed him the ball more than what the Saints feed the ball to Kamara. I mean, I think the Panthers are very set on this is a two-man show. Cam does what he wants, and then but just feed McCaffrey. Doesn't matter if you give him 450 touches and we break him in 4 years. We don't care.
Yeah. I guess the only thing that makes me think differently about, I like McCaffrey and I think he will be super productive, is just I think that the Saints have got a better chance of going deeper than the Panthers, and that could be the difference maker. But it's a good show. I like bold. Let's go big.
Yeah.
So let's segue us into another category by any chance?
No, because we're...
okay.
Let's do good and bad. Do one.
There's only a few bad.
Okay.
So on the same note of MVP, I'm going to go for who's going to be your Rookie of the Year. Who's going to make the biggest impact.
I can't remember who got drafted.
So I've got two on here, right? I've got who I think is going to win it.
Yeah.
Right, which is Kyler Murray, because it's always a quarterback and it's always that kind of inverted commas. I just say that
Yeah.
broad. There's no Saquon to challenge right this year out of the draft class. Who I would like to win it though, Quinn Williams. Right, I think he's deserving the first overall pick. He slid to 3, but well, I'd say it's a slide. It's still a high pick. He's been secretly destructive in preseason, and he's not getting any plaudits. And I think he's primed to do not Aaron Donald level, but maybe on the same trajectory as in he's quiet in his first year as he builds up, and then from year 2 onwards he's going to absolutely dominate in the middle.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see him sneak it, but I always go defence anyway. So.
Nick Bosa.
You think he's going to play? Stay fit enough to...
Okay. You said bold predictions, right?
Yes, this is
that'd
very
be a
bold.
bold prediction.
Bold prediction is that
16 games
a Bosa playing 16 games? Nah.
Let me tell. Yeah, maybe that's the bold prediction.
A Bosa will play 16 games is the bold prediction.
Yeah.
Not even pinning your hat to what one.
Even if you have 2 chances at it, you might still fail.
I'll tell you why. He's got a division where he's got the opportunity to make a lot of headlines from a defensive point of view. So if he can make a whole load of plays, I think against Russell Wilson, people will recognise it. Against Jared Goff and the Rams, people will recognise it. That guy from Arizona.
If you actually look at that division, it's
mental.
The O-lines are not particularly great. The D-lines are insane.
It's scary. I put it in the group chat after Clowney had gone up to Seattle.
Yep.
And just looking at the name recognition on all 4 defensive fronts, I was like, holy moly.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun division.
So, yeah, that's my bold prediction. Nick Bosa, if he can play 16 games.
And so I am duty bound to say that it will be Kyler Murray, because it will be Kyler Murray.
We did allude to it last week on the NFC Roundup, NFC West Roundup, where his scramble playability is going to be up there with any of the quarterbacks.
His ability to throw the ball while on the move looks exceptional.
That's the bit that's going to separate him out.
Yeah.
He's going to have some absolute nonsense plays this season. I'm looking forward to it.
He really is. So let's turn our focus to coaches. Best and worst. Let's go worst first. So who's going to get fired first?
See, I don't know. I was scanning through this. So,
Jay Gruden.
Do you think? I didn't actually even write them down. In my list, I've got a lot of people, but because I put him in the same bracket as like Matt Patricia, as it could be have problems, but I don't think they will. In the reality, I think there's other people that are worse candidates. I've got two ballsy ones.
Yeah, we want ballsy. Right. We want balls.
So I'm going to go with that. Well, I've got three, but right, let's go with the sensible one. So I think Doug Marrone and Bill O'Brien are the two that are really on the sticky wicket. Bill because of what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Marrone because really he should have got canned on Black Monday.
Yeah.
Mental Shite came out and went, yeah, that's right. You know, twizzled his moustache. We'll keep him around for another year. But
those visual things really work on a podcast.
Yeah, sorry. So he could be in problems. I thought, I'll come back to the two in a minute. Gase. Let's go. Gase just has a complete in-house meltdown, falls out with the whole organisation, and they give up on him after 8 weeks. Right? So throw that as an out there.
After he's benched Le'Veon Bell.
But the real one that I thought could happen, and this is, you wouldn't be expected, whichever of Harbaugh or Tomlin is struggling by week 8.
None of them are going to be struggling.
In the FC North. You don't think? No, but if one of them is sitting at 2-6, 1-7, you know, I know
that could happen that game in the
season.
No, it's not.
You know, would they move mid-season? Actually, I don't know if anyone will get fired mid-season this year. It's been a bit of a trend the last couple of seasons, but I think a lot of teams I don't have the feeling that anyone's actually virtually guaranteed to get canned.
Okay.
Black Monday.
I'll give you my bold name is Ron Rivera. Because the Panthers haven't really progressed.
They haven't got back to where they were. When they were challenging for the Super Bowl, they should have been hanging around there for a couple of seasons.
And they've just gradually declined. Yeah.
He was in my Matt Patricia.
Yeah,
tier 2 potential.
Christian McCaffrey's going to ball out and save his job, so it's fine.
I don't see it. And I think if Cam goes down, which he's
just aim at his shoulder.
He's had a load of concussions as well.
Yeah.
So if he goes down, then they've got, I don't even know who their backup is now. Is it Blaine Gabbert? Or is he someone else? I can't remember. I think it is Blaine Gabbert.
Gabbert was at Tennessee last year, wasn't he?
But yeah,
talking about? So I'm busy.
Blaine Gabbert, if he's at the Panthers or not.
Who's the Panthers' backup quarterback?
Yeah, because they got rid of, is it Taylor Henke?
Yeah, he's gone. I'm sure it's Blaine Gabbert.
Backup is now. Is it?
Maybe, I don't know.
God,
I might be making that up completely.
We'll find that out and come back. We'll circle back to that.
Yeah, my point is that the Panthers have just steadily regressed, and they've not really looked like they're going to get back to the top flights. And even if McCaffrey does well enough, I don't think there's enough on the outsides to get them through to any sort of high level. I don't think their wide receiver core are good enough to.
See, I was about to say there's been a lot of positive noise coming out about their wide receiver core over the pre-season.
So what is that, like Curtis Samuel and stuff who progressed well towards the end?
They think they're all going to have a year 2 jump and become way more name recognition and worthy of being in that.
I don't know.
Echelons.
I'm not sold. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
But hopefully it's Jay Gruden because I fucking hate him.
See, obligatory. You've had 3 weeks of hating Jay Gruden.
It's over. The biggest news we need to talk about.
Right, well, we'll flip from... I'm not even going to put a name into that one because you've covered off pretty much everyone between the two of you there, so I'm not going to throw any more names in.
And there's Garrett just sitting in a corner clapping, none the wiser, all what's going on about him.
So let's flip to the other side. Who's going to be the coach of the year?
I'll let you take this one. Only because I didn't think of a name. Because the reason why it's going to be some outsider likes of like last year it was
Matt
Frank
Reich,
Reich, was it, or Matt Nagy?
Yeah, Frank Reich it was.
Frank Reich got it. Reich, and you get my words out. Reich got it in the end, but was completely unforeseen. I think before the season started. I don't think we can call now who's likely to get it because I don't think it's always an established coach who already has a good team. I think more often than not, coach of the year goes to a team who's
overachieved,
take a team rebound, or so somebody likes of if Kyle Shanahan gets the 49ers in the wildcard spot.
Yeah, not going to happen.
He's going to be...
Although Pro Football Talk, I was watching Pro Football Talk
Pat
last night.
Shurmur takes the Giants always into the wildcard. Can you imagine, but from where you were to where you are now, they're the type of people that get chucked in for Coach of the Year. It would, if Matt Patricia sneaks into the wildcard, does he all of a sudden, he gets right in that mix? Do you know what I mean? Belichick sits there, he goes, he's the best coach anyway, he doesn't matter. He doesn't need to applaud it.
Yeah, I don't see it being someone like Sean Payton or Belichick or Tomlin.
I think that the Packers are going to have a very good year and it will be LaFleur.
Could be.
There you go. Yeah, first year coach. Give them a shot. We don't know what Zach Taylor's going to do at the Bengals.
He was a candidate for the other conversation we've just had.
Depends how bad the offense is, right?
Of the,
for the same reason
first year head coaches, I think he's the most likely to be one and done.
Because he's not got the name recognition and he's easy to
I disagree. The McVay tree is extremely highly rated right now, so I think that'll stand them in good stead, and also the fact that the Bengals are rubbish. And everyone knows it. That's not a surprise.
So, I suppose that moves us into how are the teams themselves going to fare. So, we'll start with the AFC. Who's going to win the AFC?
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yeah. I think they're going to get over the hump that they didn't manage to last year and clean the Patriots out on the way.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are still going to win it.
Can't see past them. No.
Nah, just
Robot Tom
Patriots.
Carries on.
Yeah.
Gronk going to come back in November?
Probably.
See, he came out and said he needs a month of training to get back into football shape.
Yeah.
But he's lost a lot of football width, I think I'll call it.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of his body mass.
Yeah.
Hope it doesn't come back. Hope the Patriots don't win it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the hope.
But I take
they will and they will.
Every other 15 on the AFC side over them.
NFC
Even
winner.
the Steelers.
What's that? Sorry.
NFC winner.
Saints.
I'm double down on that. I was with I had it written down before.
I've got to double down on my MVP shout and say that the Panthers are going to win it.
It's fair though. I think the two teams are
genuine thought. Rams.
Yeah, it's the Rams or the Saints.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they might struggle. I think there could be too much pain from that Super Bowl loss that they struggle. I think they might get.
I mean, we see it quite often that happens.
Yeah.
They haven't done a huge amount over the pre-season. They obviously lost in Dominican Sue and don't seem to jump forward. But no, but
they lost to John Sullivan at centre. The roll line isn't as good as it was last year. There's a little bit of a question.
Whitworth came back, so that was
a year older though. But yeah.
But he seems to be drinking from the same juice as Frank Gore.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but he should be
Pro Bowler.
Yeah, he should be kind of.
But what they say in the NFL is if you're standing still, you're going backwards. And to me, they've stood still. But at the same time, I still think they've got enough to.
That's what happens with the Patriots as well, though, right? They never do anything flashy.
No, they don't. You're right.
I think I just love Sean McVay and his character, so I think he's got enough in him to be. In fact, no, I'm just sticking with the Saints. So fuck Sean McVay.
So you both
so
gone
from one Sean to the other Sean. Sean Payton.
So following on from that, Super Bowl winner then.
That's the Saints.
Yeah, I still think the NFC are still too strong for
apart
the
from the Patriots, who are going to win it all again.
It's an abomination. They shouldn't have won against the Falcons. The NFC should have won it that year as well. Do you know what I mean? Really, you think Rams should have won it. But they're 28-3 up.
They should have won it. They should have won it.
That was just lunacy. I mean, it was an amazing comeback. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to diss that achievement, but really, the possession of the game. That game was dust.
All they had to do was run the football.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a big conversation for another time.
And we'll end on a low then. Number one overall pick. Who's going to have it?
Easy.
Before the weekend, when the Dolphins cleared house, I was still pinned on the Bengals. I still thought they would struggle the most.
I still think the Bengals purely because I do think Fitzmagic will have one of those runs at some point, and he'll pick up
3 wins.
He'll pick them up 3 wins, and they'll get another one at some point, and that'll be enough to not be number one overall.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be. No, you think it's all in the Dolphins?
Who's going to protect them? Who's he going to throw it to?
Himself.
The fact is that I can't recall any name. Devon Parker still there?
Devontae Parker,
right?
Yeah.
But he's
rubbish.
He's barely even a wide receiver too in most other rosters, eh? So
Albert Wilson got injured last year.
Yeah.
Don't know who the tight ends are.
I don't even know most of the Dolphins players.
They're going to move Josh Rosen into left tackle.
And kicker.
Yeah. So suppose the only other thing we can talk about
What
is...
about, just before you move, what about a bold, sneaky team that could have a really bad season?
Oh, a really bad season.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well, see, yeah.
Doesn't it?
So you can't really chuck the Texans in there, right? Because of what's happened at the weekend. Yeah, so let's think.
I'll give you one.
Oh, I got one. Cavs Chargers.
Oh, you trying to permanently lose as a
No.
listener.
We're talking about teams that should do really well, but forces of the world will work against them and they'll struggle.
There's two teams that I think could be worse than expected, and that's the Colts.
The Colts were my immediate thought, just because
They lost
how did they cope with losing their leader?
A lot of pressure on Brissett. He done okay, but being the starter is different to being a guy that's in for a couple of games. And the other one that I think is maybe the Eagles. Maybe they... I just feel like...
Is Carson Wentz all that?
Yeah.
Is he all that?
Well, they decided to roll the dice on him and go 100% on him.
Yeah.
But they've got the inside skinny on week 1 because when Wendell Smallwood got cut, the Redskins picked them up, to just to scheme against them. That was ridiculous. One-sided, we're deliberately picking you up to pick your brain thing. I've seen it in a long while.
Yeah, and he will be cut after week 1 as well.
Probably.
Oh yeah,
He's on that roster for a week.
We've just realised, Wendell, we've actually got 6 other running backs. So,
silly us.
Sorry, mate.
Silly.
It was an admin error.
Yeah.
We didn't
It was
realise.
the wrong Wendell. I don't even know if there's any other Wendells in the league, but...
Yeah, I could see that happening. In fact, it will happen.
Yeah, he'll be there for a week, and it's just to gather his intel.
Then we'll sign someone from the Giants, and then we'll sign someone from... Because that's the only way we've got to win. Yeah.
Cool. So I think that brings us to the end of this short episode on the eve of the season. And enjoy the football when you get to watch it over the weekend. And we'll speak to you next week.
You've been listening to another great podcast from the Fair City Podcast Network, a group dedicated to connecting and developing podcasts. Check out fcpod.net for more great podcasts and content.